Hey there everyone, Chris Mack here, and today I want to talk about EDC flashlights. I want to talk about one of the more popular flashlights from each of 4 of the bigger brands that are out there, to include Streamlight, Surefire, Rovivon, and Olight. So let's go ahead and dig into this. Let's start off with, I'm going to go price-wise, at least at the time of filming, most expensive to least expensive. Also, I am not going to discuss their individual specs on how many lumens and stuff like that. I'll have links below for everything in the description. Feel free to click on those, and you can go ahead and look the specs up there, okay? This is more of a review of, I've been using these lights all for several months, and I just want to go, and one for several years, and I just want to go ahead and talk about my experience with them and why I would choose which ones over the others. All right, so let's start off with the first one, the most expensive one in this one, the only one over $100, and that is the Surefire Stiletto. This is the original, not the Pro, and I really wanted to get the Pro, but the only reason why I wanted to get the Pro, the 2 big differences, 3. The Pro does have a higher lumen setting on it. It has the ability to switch the pocket clip to where it is bezeled down, which I prefer bezeled down because I feel it's a better protection of the light. And that this is a polymer body, but the Pro is a metal body. However, the number one reason why I wanted to get the Pro is that I wanted to flip the clip because I prefer bezeled down, but then I realized that if I put it bezeled down, I would not be able to clip this to my hat. And being able to go hands-free is a big pro for me whenever it comes to EDC flashlights, along with an end tail cap on and off. This light also does have different brightnesses that you can adjust with this one here. There's I don't want to blind everyone, but there's a low, medium, high, and off, and then there's also a program button that you can program for different settings as well, however you want to, whether you want the constant on and things like that. The other thing is that this is micro USB rechargeable. Micro USB for me is a big plus because a lot of the things I have other than my phone are micro USB rechargeable, which means I didn't have to go find a new charger for this. I've always got one on hand. The 2 biggest cons that I have with this light in particular, though, are one, that the price tag, it is the most expensive, but the second one that I have with this is that even rechargeable batteries over time do wear out and you have to replace them. When that happens with this, you cannot replace it on your own. You do have to send this back to Surefire. They replace the battery and send it back to you. While it's not all that big of a deal, because it's not like you're going to have to do that every week or every month or anything like that, just the fact of knowing that when that happens, you're going to have an issue and you're going to be out of your light for a while. One other pro that I have for this as well that some of the lights have and some don't is that whenever you turn the light on, there's a little indicator light here that whenever that is not green, it does mean that it needs to be recharged. So overall, it gives you a warning that your battery is getting ready to die. Throw it on the charger. Another good pro for this one. Surefire Stiletto. Before I get into the next light, I do want to say that there will be links down below in the description for all of these lights if you want to get them for yourself. And in addition to, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're enjoying this content. I have videos that come out every Saturday morning. All right, on to the next light. The next one is the Olight Mini Warrior 2, or Warrior Mini 2, I should say, sorry. I did not own the first one, and that's because whenever I was doing my research on it, I found that the pocket clip was not reversible, and as I said, I prefer to have bezel down when it's in your pocket. I just prefer that because it's a bezel protection. The other thing about it is they were saying that there were some issues with heat. This one has a sensor that if you get too close, it knocks the lumens down, so that way it shouldn't burn you. And again, as soon as I got it, I did flip the clip around on this, but you can still hook this one to the bill of your hat. It is the heaviest light out of all these, so you don't want to go whipping your head real fast, otherwise this thing flies off. Tried it, it does. Something to keep in mind there. Another good pro of this light is that it has a magnetic tail cap, so that way you can hook it on something and be hands-free. If you're working on something in your truck, you can hook it to the frame and stuff like that. Let's get in, also it has the tail switch on. In addition to, it has the on-off switch here to go through your modes, and there's a little light inside the switch as well that does also indicate when you need to recharge this. It also has a little bit of a crenulated bezel. That way, if you did need to tactically get into some business, you can, but it's not so aggressive that it's going to tear up your pocket. And that is something to keep in mind for a flashlight coming up here in a little bit. The number one thing that I dislike about this light, one more pro. The other thing is that, again, with the rechargeable battery, they do wear out. You can get a rechargeable battery for this one, and you don't have to send it back, and you can just order one off of Olight or from Amazon, get one sent in, swap it out, no big deal. The major con for me with this light is that if you're looking for this is my EDC flashlight, I'm not buying any more flashlights, one and done, it has a proprietary charging switch. It's magnetic. It's a great little hookup. I like the idea and the concept. The problem is that is the only way that you can recharge this, which means you have one charger. So if you need to recharge it at work, if you need to recharge it in your truck, if you don't have the charger with you, you're kind of up the creek without a paddle. But if you are someone who's like, oh, I really like the Olight brand, I've already got like the S1 baton, S2, they've got so many different kinds out there, and they all use the same charging plug, then you've got enough chargers around. That's not an issue. And you can buy additional chargers too. I think I saw them for around 14, 15 bucks. But for me, the biggest con of this one is the fact that it is a proprietary charger and it only comes with one. On to the next one. Okay, I'm going to be talking about these two kind of at the same time, and there's a third one, but it's in my work bag. The Streamlight Macro Stream and Micro Stream. Now, the thing that these two have in common, and in addition to the other one that I have another micro, but in black. All three of them have a high setting and a low setting. These two have the similarity of, as soon as it doesn't have a memory of, I turned it on once, and then the next time I turn it on, it's this. It is on, and then you do a double click for the other setting. These two go high initial, double click for low. The Micro Stream in black is different in the fact that it goes low initially and you have to double click for high. That's a really cool thing to keep in mind, and why after having the black one for years, I ended up getting the Coyote, because it goes high then low, and that's also what I like about the Macro Stream. Both of these are micro USB rechargeable. You pull the cap down here, and there's that. It's got a little O-ring in here to keep that dry, and then you push that back in place. Both of these are really good bang for the buck. They are end tail switch on and off. There's no additional switches anywhere. And the other thing is that both of these do have the ability to be bezeled down. That's how they come. But then they also do have the clip that you can put them onto your hat, so that way you can be hands-free. The other thing about these is that, again, rechargeable batteries do die and need to be replaced over time. You can get replacement batteries for these straight from Streamlight, or on Amazon. You can find replacements for these, and it's not like you have to wait for it to come back. With that, these are really good lights. I do like them. They are metal body construction. The other thing is that, like I said, I have had the black of the Micro Stream for many, many years, and it's been in my work bag. And what I like about that one is that it's my backup for my work light that I typically carry. And the other day, my work light, being a normal AA battery, actually did die at work, and I didn't have another one. So I pulled out my Micro Stream, and I had not taken it out of my bag for at least 2 years. Pulled it right out, turned right on, no issues with it whatsoever. Held a charge for years. There we go. Really enjoy these. Now, the last light is by far the cheapest, and actually the last time I just looked before filming this video, it has come down in price even more. And I think there's a really good reason for that, and that is because I think it is a piece of junk. This is the Rovivon H3 Pro. It has some really great aspects to it. It just did not deliver, and me personally, I don't like this, but it might be something that you like. And again, being the fact that it is the cheapest option, it's up to you. Let's start off with the main reason I bought this light and the main pro that it has going for it, and that is the fact that it is dual fuel. It does have an internal battery. Again, when that internal battery has been recharged as much as it can and it goes bad, I don't know what the heck you do with that. I actually don't know if you send it to Rovivon. I don't know if you can order another one. I have no clue, because yeah, I did what I could with this thing, and I lost interest because it just didn't work out for me. But then the other thing is that in addition to, and that's why it's got a lot of length on this versus the other ones, is that it does have a AA battery backup. So if the rechargeable battery dies, it goes to the AA automatically. That was the main pro to this flashlight, and they really dropped the ball because in the process of testing these other lights, I had recharged this. I put it away in the drawer. I came back 2 weeks later, and the internal battery had completely lost its charge, and it was only running off of the AA battery. So not even being used, just sitting around, it depleted its charge, and the AA battery, while it is a backup of, oh yeah, I've got a secondary power source anyhow, the AA battery does not give you all of the lumens that the rechargeable battery does. So it's not even all that bright when it runs on AA, but it is nice to have that AA option. The other thing about this is that it is USB-C rechargeable. So if you use a lot of Apple products and stuff like that, it's either Lightning or USB-C. So you've got a USB-C rechargeable if you use more of those products. Yay for that for you. And this might be a reason to go with this light as well. The other thing is that it does have the tail on and off. In addition to that, it does have this button here where you can go through shadow mode and other stuff. There's 5 or 6 different modes on here. The other thing is that turning this on and off frequently, whenever I was just using like the little moonlight setting, I really had to look to ensure that I had it off and wasn't draining the battery. So that was something else that I had to really make sure of before I put it back in my pocket. The other downfall to this is that it has the pocket clip only one way, so I can not stick this on my ball cap to use it one-handed. And then last but not least, this crenulated bezel on here. It is extremely sharp. It is extremely pointy in the fact that you know you're going to get smacked by this if you smack somebody with it. But it does not come off. It is not removable. You have to leave it on there. And this does kind of put some wear and tear on your pocket as well whenever you're moving around. So there you go. Not the biggest fan of this. It is the cheapest, and sometimes you get what you pay for. And there we go. Not the biggest fan of this. Overall, what do I think of the individual lights? And let's go over that and which one, if I had to pick one today, this is my light, which one would I pick and why? First and foremost, Rovavon, not a chance, would not buy this ever again. The next one that I really like, this is probably my favorite, is the Surefire Stiletto. My biggest downfall with this one is the fact that when the internal battery goes, you do have to send it back, and it is the most expensive. It's a little bit over $100. So those are two kind of bigger issues, but overall, for the form factor and everything else, this is probably my absolute favorite of them so far. The next one that I definitely do like is the Olight, but again, that proprietary charging thing, if you're going to have multiples, go for it. If you're only going to buy one and done, something to keep in mind that you're going to have to get additional charging cables, just something to note. And the bigger size of this compared to this is not an issue because whenever it comes to my flashlights, I wear carpenter pants. There's the tool loop on one and then there's the tool pocket on the other. I always have my flashlights in the tool pocket if I can, and it just makes it a little bit easier that whatever size light I want to have, we're good to go. Overall, whenever it comes to the best bang for your buck, the Streamlight Macro Stream and Micro Stream, these series right here are really awesome. Best bang for your buck. The only thing that I would say that I dislike about them is I wish they did have some indicator saying, hey, your battery's getting ready to die, you need to go recharge it. Other than that, considering this one is around $50, it's really good in the price point for all of these. You can order a new replacement battery should you need one. It's got a tail cap, start. You can put it on your ball cap. Best bang for your buck, I think, is the Streamlight Micro, Macro options. So there you go. That's my overall review on all these. I hope you enjoyed. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's Chris Mack.